Prime Minister Loong has held his first dialogue with Malay Muslim community leaders on the issue of the Tudung or headscarf. This issue arose over the wearing of the Tudung by frontline public officers. Mr. Lee says it's not about the Tudung per se, but rather about the broader question of what sort of society Singapore wants to build. He says that society is a multiracial one, where everybody has equal opportunities and where minority communities can live their own lives and practice their faiths to the maximum extent possible. The dialogue was held just a short while ago, and we'll have the full story a little later. And we bring you our top story now, the dialogue tonight where PM Lee engaged about 100 Malay Muslim community leaders on the issue of the Tudung. He said it's about building the society that Singapore wants, which is a multiracial society. He said precipitous changes should not be made, which could lead to a pushback from other communities, and that in turn could weaken multiracial ties.
Prime Minister Lee described the dialogue session as respectful, and the participants spoke from the heart. The Tudung issue had surfaced in 2002 over primary schoolgirls not being allowed to wear the headscarf in school. More than 10 years later, it's over the usage of the Tudung for frontline public officers. Mr. Lee said the position has not been static.
You never arrive. I mean, over the last 10 years, we have gradually moved. Nobody has really noticed. I think that's really the best way to do it. I mean, this is not the sort of thing where you want to put all your attention on this item and measure the progress of either racial relations or the progress of the Muslim community based on just one item.
Mr. Lee said more statutory boards have more officers now donning the Tudung, where the uniform has incorporated some form of the Tudung. He said the issue needs to be addressed in a broad and informal way. It cannot be taken in terms of rights and entitlement.
So it's best that we evolve as we go forward, take it gradually, step by step. Our society will change.
Mr. Lee added that precipitated changes should not be made, which can lead to a pushback from the other communities.
We want to make sure that the change takes place gradually and for the better. And you do not want to make precipitate changes, moves, which can lead to either a pushback from the other community, which can lead to further demands from the other communities, which can lead to a weakening of our multiracial ties.
Mr. Lee said that as society changes, attitudes and expectations will also change as people get used to different norms. He added that over time, Singapore will gradually move to a new balance.
And Singapore's highest Islamic authority, the Mufti, says PM Lee understands that the Tudung is an important issue for Muslims.
During the dialogue session, Singapore's Mufti said the Prime Minister understood the natural desire and aspiration of a Muslim that it is to be allowed to practice their religious obligations as much as possible. Mufti also apologized for abusive language by netizens on wearing the Muslim headscarf in the public service.
Bagi pihak masyarakat kita, melahirkan keluhuran untuk meminta maaf bagi pihak sebahagian anggota masyarakat yang mungkin terbawa-bawa oleh emosi mereka, yang mungkin tidak beberapa memahami kesulitan dalam mencari jalan huraian keluarnya menggunakan bahasa yang sangat tidak wajar.
Some religious leaders said they hope to see change and are confident the Prime Minister will give this issue the most appropriate attention.
Perdana Menteri akan memberikan perhatian yang sewajarnya dalam perkara ini, di mana satu daripada contoh-contoh yang beliau contohkan apabila ada di antara para peserta yang menggambarkan kita sebagai sparring partner, tapi Perdana Menteri dengan secara jujur menyatakan kita bukan sparring partner, tapi kita dancing partner.
The dialogue session gave Malay Muslim leaders and those in the community the opportunity to have a frank exchange about the Tudung issue. Dr. Yaakob, who participated in the 2-hour discussion, said the changes cannot be sudden. He said the dialogue allowed the Malay Muslim community to clarify their position to the government, and that going forward, constructive solutions need to be found.
This is a larger issue that concerns the type of society that we want to become. While we can pretend that we can remove, any vestiges of race, language, and religion, it is still below the surface, right? I think that is something which we cannot ignore. And I think people recognize that because when you look at it from a single perspective, you think it's about your rights. But when you look at it in a wider context, where other people have other rights also, it becomes a battle of who's right and who's wrong.
Others who participated in the dialogue felt that the community should not be distracted by the Tudung issue.
My hope is that we exemplify what it is to be a Muslimah, not only in the way we are dressed, but in the way we do our work, in the way we uphold our integrity, in the way we are competent, in whatever assignment that we're given. That is, to me, much more important than wearing the hijab or not.
While others felt the issue had to be looked at more holistically, rather than involving one community and one religion.
I think we need to continue this dialogue so that we understand one another better, not just from the community to the government through the MP, but also from the perspective of the government, the challenges that it faces, and how the community and the society can understand those challenges better.
The closed-door dialogue session saw some 100 leaders and representatives from the Malay Muslim community.